Ready? Play.
Okay, we'll just roll straight into questions. Who would like to start today? Yep.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Sorry, haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Okay, sorry.
All good. All good. I got to watch a bit of that match. There were some moments, some points where you gave like a little smile and a little giggle. You seem to be having a lot of fun on court. Am I getting the right impression?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, for me, I just want to have a lot more fun on the court. I think, like, I don't want to say in the beginning of, like, my comeback-ish in Australia, I was really hard on myself, and I found myself not really celebrating just being on the court. So I think in this tournament, I just really wanted to emphasize that I don't expect myself to win every match, but I want to have fun and enjoy the moments, while I can.
Great. Next question. Yeah, Courtney.
In January, it seemed like, with some of those matches that you played, the level was quite high, except for maybe the big points. Those were the ones that you seemed like you regretted. Seems like in the last couple of matches, it felt like the bigger points were starting to flip your way. Is that how you're seeing it? And what do you think is the difference there?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I think match play is really important for me, and just getting in certain situations and not feeling like I'm unsure of what to do. But I definitely felt like I was more confident today with like the set point, and just kind of trusting myself and knowing that no matter what happens, like, go for my shots and don't live life with regret. And I think, of course, in Australia, like those, what is it, like 0 to 12 break points or something, I definitely felt like now I do a lot more with my shots. So.
Neat.
In your on-court after the match, you brought up fans being with you through growing pains. That's not a great chance to elaborate. I'm wondering if you have anything more that you want to say about what you meant by that?
Like basically like my whole career, if you did a deep dive. Yeah, it's funny because I'm just thinking about, like, I guess Courtney, she met me in Stanford? No. Yeah, Stanford. So I guess even now doing interviews, I think I'm a little bit, hopefully a bit of a better talker, but I guess it's just things like that. And for me, I'm just really grateful for whoever followed me throughout my journey and who continues to follow me throughout my journey. So I hold a lot of, like, a special place in my heart for everyone that supported me throughout the years, because I know I could have been kind of annoying at some times, but I think the beauty of it is, like, everyone's just trying to figure it out. So.
Bill?
Naomi, sometimes people remember the first time they do different things. Do you remember, I believe Palo Alto was Stanford was your first big tournament. Do you remember much about that? And what was it like to go out on that, go through all the things that are involved in the tournament?
Yeah, it's funny. I vividly remember that tournament, and I have I have a bad memory, so I guess that tournament stands out a lot for me. And I played Stozer, and it was kind of the first tournament that made me feel like I could play with the big dogs. And I just remember after I played my match, they asked me to do press, and I've never done press before. So I was fully, like, about to leave, and I didn't have, like, a change of clothes, so I threw on just, like, a random shirt, and it was not okay, but yeah, I don't know. It was kind of just like my introduction into the tour and like how professionals really navigate.
Next question. Yeah, we'll come back to Anita.
So I asked Hans this, now I want to ask you. A few years ago, athletes needed media to share their story, but now you have social media and you can tell your perspective anytime you want. What do you think our role is now for you?
You know, I I know this is gonna sound weird for coming from me, but I think it's kind of beautiful the way that I could obviously tell what I feel in my story, but I think it's really cool that you can look at me and kind of write in your words. You know what I mean? It's like seeing me from the outside is obviously different than how I see myself. And I just kind of think that's awesome. And it might be weird coming from me with my history, but yeah.
Any more in English yet for me?
Naomi, just coming back here to Indian Wells, have you found that the way that you when you're playing your best, the way that you strike the ball here, the way the conditions kind of play in, is there a sense of a little bit of kind of familiarity in terms of what you want to do out on that court, or does it feel very different than in years past? You know?
Yeah, I would say I'm aware of what I want to do and I have a plan. And I think you can see glimpses of my plan while I'm playing, but there's still still a few creaks that I want to get out, and thankfully I'm able to play another match and able to have another opportunity to, I guess, execute my vision a lot more, but I don't know. I feel like I was kind of pushing today, but also my opponent was like really aggressive, so I felt like I had no choice, and I just kind of ended up with that scoreline. So.
Bill?
Naomi, Coco Gauff is on the cover of Vogue magazine now. It's a stunning cover, and you've been on the cover of so many fashion magazines, sports magazines, cultural magazines. Is there one or two that stands out to you as your favorites?
Oh, cover. I don't know. They're all like really different and beautiful. And I don't want to say like specific ones because I don't want to get in trouble, but I think like my first cover I did after I won the US Open the first time, it was GQ Japan. It was really fun. And I guess Vogue too, Vogue Japan, even though that was like right after the French. So I don't know, like I got in trouble for that, but I promise I shot that way before, so.
Yeah, we'll do last two, starting with Anita.
Forward, do you already know, are you someone who looks ahead? Do you know who you'll play next?
Wynn told me, yeah.
Okay. You've played a few times before. What do you expect from the match? Talk us through your preparation for that.
Yeah, honestly, I just remember, of course, she's a great player. The last time I remember playing her was 2020, the Cincinnati that was at the US Open. Unless I played her later and I just have no memory of that. But she's a great player. She is consistent, and I think she, for me, gives me just trouble with, I don't know how to say this, like her ball tempo. So it's going to be really interesting because I know, well, what I see is that a lot of people are double faulting, me included. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
Just curious if you were a big Dragon Ball watcher.
Oh yeah.
And just what your memories are of that. And I mean, in this sport, maybe anime is not the most prevalent thing in it, but can you kind of articulate to people kind of what his work meant to you and to a lot of kids out there?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't really the biggest Dragon Ball watcher, but I think it's kind of incredible how much his work has affected like all the other mangakas. And I was reading this article of all the other mangakas like saying he inspired them to start working, and I don't know, it's really sad because you think of like the train of, for example, in tennis, like Serena influenced so many people to play tennis, and I think he, I guess, in the world is as big and as inspirational.
And we'll do a few in Japanese.
試合のことなんですけど、ファーストセットを4-1でリードして、
Really? Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
I thought そう4-2のゲームでラブサーティーになってちょっとまた同じようなプレッシャーを感じてるのかなと思ったんですけれど全然覚えてなかったですね考えてなかった
Yeah, I mean, I vividly remember the 4-1 in the first set. I don't really remember in the second set, but I think, like, for me, I just didn't want to make the same mistakes. And honestly, she played, I thought, really well. I'm not sure if she thinks she didn't play really well, but there were just moments where I felt like she stepped her game up, and Wim was talking to me and he told me that there's going to be some fantastic shots that she hits and I just have to accept that and move on. So I do think in the first set I kind of dropped a little bit, but in the second set I think I maintained my level throughout as best as I could.
ですけどそのウェブがトレメンダスショットだって言ったのは試合中にベンチから言ったんですかそれとも試合後に
He told me that before the match, and then I guess during the match I was just conversing with him about like some doubts that I had.
ちょっとテクニカルな質問なんですけど大坂さんはバックハンドを打つ時って右手で打ってる感じなんですか左手でフォアハンドで打ってるような感じですか
Sorry, I have to think about this. You know what? I think I use mostly my left hand. Because I realize, like, if I go on the run, sometimes I'll just fully use my left hand, yeah. And then, obviously, my forehand's my right hand.
ここのボールって結構その飛ぶとか時間帯によって昼と夜によって違うとかって言われますけど、大坂さんにとってその辺こうやりやすいやりにくいどういう感じですかボールのポジションは
I'm so unsensitive. I don't really feel much. If I were to feel anything, it would be the court and the fact that the ball sits up a little higher when it bounces, but other than that, I'm really not the one you ask questions about balls.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.